These refs.
My God.
Ruining the game, Pat.
Whoa.
There's a Lions fan.
Yep. Tough job.
NFL's rigged here. Come on now.
Whoa!
Everyone's saying it.
Whoa! It's Detroit versus everybody. Scriptwriter's trying to build that for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, you're welcome. Maybe you should be saying, hey, Raj, thanks for making us get kind of screwed over in a situation that, we understand that Kadarius Toney egregious at the end of a game. But this whole thing, this is just standard operating procedure. It's been happening since the beginning of time, especially with numbers and everything that used to be for numbers. Now on the defensive side, offensive side, there's certainly question marks, but the offensive line still has to wear a certain frame of numbers between, I think it's 50 and 80.
Yeah.
I think is the offensive line numbers, I think. And if it's anything in there and you're going to a position that is eligible to receive a catch or to receive the ball, well, the defense is going to have to know that. And also the refs, or whenever they're looking at the line and who's where and who's what, they have to know. Shout out to Nick. Had a great week. Happy New Year, Nick.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Nick. Certainly doing it. The refs and the other team need to know who is potentially going to receive a catch. There's been centers before that have been reported eligible with different formations that have been set up. There's been guards that have been eligible with the way it's been set up. In this particular case, normally it's a tackle that kind of is a double tight end on one side, and it's kind of a heavy set, and it happens a lot more often than people even realize. It's taking place for some teams in every single goal line or short yardage situation. It's just called by the ref, and the commentators don't stop whenever the ref's talking. It's just hitting the stadium. Bill Belichick used to use this like 15 times a game in the middle of the field, report eligible. Yeah, just an extra blocker, you're out of there. But the defense every single time has to go through it. So it's kind of just like a formal ceremony that takes place and has been taking place for a long time. Now, Sewell's trying to block old Cuz from being seen by the defense. Because once again, just a formality, I guess situations are situation there. Just said the same thing with formal and formality. But he's now going to announce it. Defense, not even really because of how often it happens. Listening, but not. 70 then gets called eligible over the MC in-house. From what we've heard from the Spanish copy and also numerous social media filming things. Then 70's coming on the field to try to make it look like he's potentially doing. So now the defense has a soul walking this way, guarding somebody, with somebody coming on from the sideline. So the defense is trying to make a lot of decisions. I've never seen eye candy on a reporting. I've never seen an eye candy on a reporting before.
It's next level.
This is next level. This is high IQ stuff.
Too high.
And then all of a sudden, boom, bang, worst things of all happens. We fail four straight 2-point conversion mindsets. We're going even from the 7. We're going to do this whole thing. And instead of a historic season, we still have the opportunity to do it. We have a little bit of a same old Lions situation here brewing after the brand new Lions do something that hasn't happened in 30 years in Detroit. It's just going to add another chip on their shoulder. But we didn't even get a chance to say, what are these refs doing? Banging about themselves. D-Butt, I know you're a defensive player, so you're going to view this obviously a lot differently than me. What do you think went wrong in this particular situation? And are we just saying to Brad Allen and his crew that have been demoted allegedly from the playoffs? Now,
thank you.
That's being reported from the internet. And we have no idea how that information got out so quick to these different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, already.
Because normally they don't talk about it at all. But I do appreciate the fact that some people have found out and they're telling the world, hey, he ain't going to be in the playoffs. It's like, there's a lot of bad refs.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah. Brad is definitely a bad ref, and it might be over for him to going into the playoffs. Shout out Gumpy. But, I don't know how that info got out. What is your takeaway from this?
Yeah, it's tough. Obviously, the refs got a tough job. The Lions probably made it a little bit tougher on themselves and on the refs. You saw Skipper coming in there 70. And the thing about that, a little more context to that was probably like his second or maybe third or fourth time where he's reporting himself as the eligible jumbo tight end. As defenses, you're game planning, who the jumbo guys are. We had a play, I think, last week on everything DB, good D, bad D, with the offensive lineman in the backfield. So I'm sure he had to report. And you've seen it. You've heard coaches talk about it. You got to, verbal, nonverbal, hey, ref, I'm reporting eligible. They announced to the defense. So I think that kind of confused them. As soon as she saw 70 running on, just probably anticipated that it was going to be him again. Decker was kind of trying to be a little low-key about it. And who knows how the defense would have adjusted differently if they knew 68 was the eligible receiver. So it was tough. You hate to see a game come down to that where the refs mess it up. But I don't have a problem for them being dropped from the playoffs either.
No,
mistakes.
if that's right. I like a little accountability for stripes, which is what
Same.
we've been calling for forever. We've also been calling for consistency. I didn't get to see every play of that particular game because where we were watching games at was certainly something. So I don't know how the refs were from start to finish. Probably inconsistent like every ref in the NFL has seemingly been all year. So I don't know what Brad Allen is as a ref other than this particular situation.
Sure.
Been around a while.
Yeah. Dan said they drew the play up, too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Dan Campbell going to him.
Yeah.
And then explaining what's going to happen. And then in the biggest moment when they need it, exactly what he said was going to happen.
It's tough.
Happening. And then one of Brad's refs, by the way, maybe it's Brad, I guess he had to be a part of it as well. But all of it taking place in the biggest moment goes back to my point about not all these refs are built for the moment.
No.
You know what I mean? We obviously scrutinize and judge athletes when in the biggest moment they don't perform their best. Well, why don't they perform their best? Well, they're overthinking, they're getting a little tight, they're doing something abnormal than what they used to do. They don't have good enough technique, so then whenever they have to rely upon it, it's not great. That's what separates from some, Now everybody can be good. Who can be the great? We know who's up here, okay? Serena,
Yep.
Wayne,
Tiger.
LeBron, Peyton, Tom Brady, John Daly, Flacco.
Right.
Yeah, you know who we're talking about.
Exactly.
There's a difference here. And their difference is that in between the years, they are stone cold killers. And in the biggest moments, they perform at their absolute best. Some people have that, but they're not great. Other places, they are as well because they're always dialed in. Some of these refs are getting tossed in here, and they're in Lions, Cowboys, massive.
Huge
That is
game.
a massive game.
One seed on the line here.
2-point convert. Here it is.
Yes.
This is the whole thing. And sometimes, you can just have maybe Brad had that moment where he didn't even think or was just in auto mode because he's we're in a big moment and checks in for 70 because it's happened before in the game. It's that goes back to the whole point of we need full-time refs.
Yep.
So that we could develop them, And I had a chance to talk to a few sources within the officiating world because we talk about it a lot. We've been talking about it for a very long time.
Yep.
And as they've passed the title of who's the head official, there's been different ways that things have kind of operated. And one of the things that's kind of getting left behind over the last couple of years, and I assume it's a budget conversation, is there's no real development. We talk about development of players. We talk about how that's a good coaching staff. They make guys better over there. College, that's obviously a massive thing. NFL, some places have better coaches than other places. There's no real development of these refs either. So the development is them getting thrown into live action. And it's there we go. If these people are full-time, you got off-season workouts.
Yep.
You got trust falls.
Yep.
You got a pool of people maybe you could pull from.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You got practices you can go to. Hey, there's a high school 7-on-7 taking place. Sweet. We'll send our 14th and 15th teams out to go cover that, just get some work in the offseason, let alone conferences, everything. The full-time official thing is not only because it's weird that we have to look into what the side job is for a ref that blows a call that costs me a massive bet.
Yeah.
That's a weird thing to have to do. This middle school teaching son of a bitch. What is this ref doing Monday through Friday, and then on Sunday he's making this call, and I'm getting screwed up. The team's getting screwed over. So obviously that is a benefit of full-time refs, that it's their full-time job, and you would think that maybe they're not getting, distracted by potential outsiders, especially in the world that we're in right now. But also we can make them better, and we can find who's good, and then you can also bench people.
Yeah.
Oh, this particular line judge. Did you see week 1?
Can't have it.
Everything was wrong.
Yep.
Well, I got to put it back on the bench and maybe develop a little bit. Hey, Jack's been working his ass off.
Yeah.
He started as back judge, moved to a line judge this past offseason. Let's go ahead and give him a shot. He's with Clete Blakeman, been around a long time. He's got a veteran. He'll put him in there. We should do that. There's the amount of money to do it. I'm sure some sponsor would love to pay the money to the NFL to even build that. But it's whenever things like this happen, the first thought for everybody is just these refs suck. And they do. But I think we can make it better. And I think the NFL is trying. From what I've been told. I've been told that the NFL is making the right calls to the right people.
Try harder.
Good news.
Having the right conversations, but the NFL moves like molasses.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That is what the NFL is. It's a multi-billion-dollar operation. Things are really good right now. I don't know if you've seen their ratings are just doing this right here. So they move slow, but from what I've been told, all the right thoughts are happening, which is good news. I think.
Yeah, that's all you can really ask for. And the whole referee thing, what you just said, relegation. Like, we need to send these bitches down like Burnley. You know, I'm sorry.
So where, Mac, Big 12?
No.
All the way down to FC.
Yeah. Pop Warner. I don't care where it ends, but you talk about the moment being too big. Like, you can clearly see the head referee as Decker and Penny Sewell are kind of trying to tell him, like, hey, this is it right here. He's just looking to the left and he points at Skipper and then he starts walking. He's not even listening to what Penny or them are doing. He's looking over at Skipper here, sees him coming on, then points at Skipper, doesn't even listen to what Decker or Sewell are saying, and then he's going to make
They're doing eye candy. Yeah. Hey, eye candy on the reporting.
Hey, it's kind of genius.
It's genius.
Close to silver.
It's genius, and I don't want to hear the confusion stuff. This is the NFL. This is the greatest league on earth.
Foxy.
Don't get too cute.
We talk about the confusion stuff in the NFL all the time.
Jack, not every team can do it.
And we're talking, well, not only, I mean, the Patriots, they've had to change numerous rules at the NFL because Bill Belichick abusing the reporting eligible rule. We're talking, I think, against the Colts, and in my mind, it's probably different than what it actually was. But the year that the reporting eligible thing and the way the formations they were doing, feels like they did it against us at least 4 to 5 times.
At least.
Just like in like maybe a half.
Yeah, sorry, Chuck.
It was just like every play was something they're reporting. They're doing
tough, man. And as a player, you want to take it out of the official hands as much as possible. And you saw when he looked, the skipper started running off. I feel like Decker maybe kind of grabbed him, yelled at him, "Hey, it's me!" Like, I'm reporting just to let it be known. I'm sure, especially when you on that run, you and Midge with all those onside kicks. I'm sure you guys had some conversations with the refs. A lot of conversations like, "Hey, this is exactly what's going on." I don't know, maybe even when they're handing you the ball, maybe a little reminder with something. But yeah, you just want to take it. You just want to take those guys out of the game. Even in 2-minute situations, you'll see a lot of times receivers, they're coached not to toss the ball to the referee because drop it, fall on the ground. So, hey, hand the ball to the ref, then go get down. So it's the little things, and they don't show up. And I understand Foxy, I understand the Lions fans, I understand just football fans being pissed off, but they're humans too. And on the flip side, those refs last night, I know in our game, at least at the Rose Bowl, and I know you talked to them beforehand.
That's good.
They said, hey, look, we want to stay out of it. We want to be observers of the game, and I feel like for the most part, they
definitely did.